Good evening, Free Enterprise fans, and welcome to the first day of the round of 32 in the Lali-Ho League bracket stage. I am Gambit017. I am joined on the commentary booth tonight by Oscar424. How are we doing tonight, Oscar?
I'm doing fantastic today. I miss doing comms with you, Gambit, for all of the once times I've done it with you before.
And one and a half.
Yeah, I guess.
Anyway, we have the exciting match of the 16 seed moonblazewolf versus the 17 seed Vitasia. One of the only two matches, I think, in this round of 32 that does not have someone with a +1 advantage. So looking to see both these runners at 0-0, and could be interesting to see which one can take an early win and see if it propels them to the next round.
And honestly, this is probably just because it's the 16th and the 17th seeds. This is going to be the closest matchup, at least on paper, that we're going to have this entire bracket. So I'm really excited. What I'm also really excited about is I can't recognize Vitasia's naming scheme. I'm sorry, but I am a huge fan of Spaceballs.
Yes, Blaze going with the Spaceball names today, which is absolutely wonderful, and I love it. And then, of course, our joke objectives brought to us today by our wonderful restreamer Dathis, giving some toss to Guild here Edward memes, as well as we have Alchemy doing the tracking today. So definitely shout out to our behind-the-scenes folk, making sure that we are kept honest and we can just be here to talk about everything going on.
I'm so hard pressed right now not to make everyone's ears bleed and start singing that. Not gonna lie. And chat, don't encourage me.
Encourage your chat, you know you want to.
No. But anywho, so with the bracket stages, with this opening stage in particular, the objectives, at least the first three, are the same as before, where it's the combination of Forge, go get some Twin Heart music goodness and trade away the pink tail. And of course, the last two objectives are the random ones of choice that we don't know yet because I'm still trying not to sing.
Yeah, but not only that, we have, as the fifth false objective shows out, SSL0, the best flag, which means everything that they try to sell is going to sell for nothing. You're going to get a bit of starting cash in your starter kit, and that's what you get to work with. It could be a nice, lovely 70,000 amount. It could be a nice, very bad, like 20,000 amount. Could be anything in between.
Yeah, and how much guild or GP you get is going to hard determine what your initial plan is, whether or not you can just go hog wild and get whatever the heck you want, or just, well, deal. But anywho, we did see the two second objectives of getting Porum and fighting DKC, and it looks like we are starting with a single character, but with a bonus round. What do you think about that?
I'm more concerned with that lack of money there. That was 21K for the starter kit. That's not much. That'll barely buy you 10 sirens no, not even 10. That'll only buy you like 5 sirens.
Yeah, the exchange rate between Ogopogo / Dathis Canadian and Final Fantasy Free Enterprise American is not so great today.
Yeah, but it's going to be interesting to see where our runners choose to go first. I mean, you've got a Rosa Rydia start. My thought would be go straight to Hobbs, check and see what that summon is.
Oh, absolutely. Whether or not you're going to use Rydia as an anchor or as an actual character, that free summon could change the course of, well, that decision. Looks like Moonblaze is not taking any of that into consideration, saying, you know what, I want items, so we are going to go to to Evelyn Castle to see what we can pull there.
One thing I noticed, in addition to our starting samurai bow, we got a samurai bow in our starter kit. So Vitasia has samurai bows on both characters. Both of them starting with the bows, so both had bows and arrows. Rosa with Medusa and Rydia with ice arrows, if I saw that right.
Yeah, that's what I caught as well. I think I saw Lilith pull out of Blaze's side, and Indra. I'm not well versed in the Indra summon. How is that in your opinion?
Oh, I mean, you find an early Odin or early Octomam, that's going to do some great damage with that lightning spell. Otherwise, once we get into mid-late game, probably not as useful, but, still could be something that gets you through a couple fights early on.
Vitasia is actually taking the, I guess, the path less traveled up to Mount Hobbs. Since, well, the first area is free and open because we use the summon, we can get those free chests without having to deal with the boss on the other path. Even though Vitasia is saying, you know what, I'm just going to go look anyway. See who it is. It's a free character. It's a, well, hopefully quick boss fight. And maybe we can get some, well, tank on the team?
We'll have to see. One thing I noticed also on Blaze's side, we started with an Odin summon in our grab bag. So get some levels on our video. We can get through some freebie bosses, but that is not a freebie on Hobbs. That is a vanilla Yang and a very, very evil wall.
That is no. You just no. But Vitasia is taking a crack at it, so we'll see how that turns out.
I noticed Vitasia found the dancing dagger, has it on that radio. That's a great pickup early to do some decent damage to get through the first part of this seed.
And what's interesting on moonblazewolf's side is because we didn't have enough samurai bows, we have a third one now. And then I literally just was about to say what he picked up, and I forgot it because I'm getting distracted by the wall and the fact that we have 3 samurai bows. Because wow, Thunderclaw. He picked up a Thunderclaw in the castle, so... Oh, and a ninja shirt, too, so there's some surprisingly good stuff in here.
Yeah, Blaze will probably be very happy to see that Yang sitting on Mount Hobbs once he gets there. That Thunderclaw can do, again, early work against said Odin or Octomam. That's a Sorkro also pulled from the Elven Basin. That's going to be some great defense for that Rosa or Iridia, whoever decides to put it on.
That is a very, very, very well-stocked castle there, so good thought on Blaze to check that out.
In the meantime, oh, by the way, Yang comes pre-equipped with the Thunderclaw, so Thunderclaw not as useful. But this Evil Wall fight has gone a little bit sideways here. Vitasia had to use a life potion trying to bring some people back, and that wall is closing ever closer.
You know, how much HP is this particular spot?
Oh gosh, I don't know off the top of my head. I want to say 2,000 to 3,000, if I remember right.
Well, it looks like that Evil Wall is down to 0 HP because Vitasia has gotten through that, so GG's on that end. On Blaze's side, we did get to take a peek at the 2 kind of out-of-the-way bosses. Mist Cave has the Pale Dim, and then we just found out that I think it was Leviathan that was having a spa day.
Well, I mean, Leviathan living in a waterfall, it checks out.
Yeah, makes sense. Blaze continuing to increase his capabilities of using elemental weaknesses by finding an Ice Claw and a Silk Web, which is going to be really beneficial later on. That Black Robe, pretty beneficial right now if he wants to put it on Iridia.
Yeah, he got both of his mages decked out with Iridia, the Black Robe, Rosa with the Sork Robe. That is some very, very good early game defense for both of those mages.
Ooh, that Mute Dagger is a really nice find, especially against some various mages they might come across. An early Assure would probably be the number one thing that I'd be thinking of right now. That'd be great to use.
Vitasia also picking up a Mute Dagger here in Antlion and a Rune Ring. Good to see a Rune Ring since we no longer get the freebie at the beginning with this flag set. So once again, some more mage resistance for our mages.
And the Charm Arrows, that is a very surprisingly anti-mage team, so that could be pretty interesting. Especially depending on who they find in the Antlion Cave, which Vitasia is going to be showing us right about now. Now.
I know we have some Thor Rages. That's really the only AoE we have here. Do we see a... oh no, there's a Zeus Rage, never mind. I was going to say, do we see a Yang kick, possibly? But no, Zeus Rage takes care of it.
No, Vitasia was done playing with his dolls. Oh! I just realized something, Gambit.
Do we have a hook route?
We have a hook route, and Blaze has Spaceballs characters. The reference is legitimately sound this time! You get it?
Oh, I get it. I'm just trying to figure out where on the diggity scale that would fall.
It's an overwhelming surplus of dignity.
Meantime, Blaze finds his Yang up here on Hobbs. Is going to be taking that battle. Vitasia moving over, going to go ahead and check the waterfall boss and launch the hovercraft. Probably head straight into Evelyn and check that character.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea on Vitasia's part, just because that is a gated character, so you can get those really nice characters like, oh, I don't know, Edge or maybe a Mop. Oh, an early Mop would be just really fun to have. Not fully powered yet, but still really fun to have.
Also gives you a look at who that Rubicon spot boss is. If it's that Dark Knight, then hey, you know exactly where objective number 5 is.
That if DKC was on the hook route, would it be worse at Ruby or would it be worse at King Queen? I'd almost say King Queen. Just because of the.
I would agree. Yeah, King Queen would be the worst spot for DKC.
I'm being a very nice commentator. I'm hoping to see, like, I don't know, a turtle. That'd be great. Like, ooh, a cat claw. That is a great pickup for Yang in the cave there.
Plus a poison axe right away too. If we get one of those heavy melee bruisers, such as a Kane or a Sid or even a Cecil, once we go through ordeals, could use those immediately.
And for those in chat, just remember that with this flag set, we have our that's a shop. That is a fantastic shop. But with this flag set, we have only just 2 characters that are taking a vacation that didn't feel like showing up in this seed, which means we will have 3 duplicate characters. So for all we know, they could see another Rosa, another Rhea, another Yang, but they won't be able to pick them up because also the no dupes flag is on. So it's only one of a kind.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest changes from the Swiss flags into the brackets is that no dupes flag. So whereas in the Swiss you can see people using 2 Cecils, 2 Foos, 2 Edwards, they felt really risky. That's a Yang in the Rubicante spot. We need to find a Cecil.
Yeah, we really do. I mean,
well, that's a Sid. That's someone who can use that poison axe that we just found. That's actually a very good pickup at this point.
Yeah, even without armor, Sid is pretty beefy and can take, well, quite a few blows. So that's another nice meat shield for our slightly squishier characters with Rosa and Rydia. But yeah, we definitely want to check to see if there's a Cecil before we take on that hook route. I'm wondering, maybe they haven't gone to Baron yet, have they?
No, I don't think either runner has checked Baron in to see what character is there. To mention the fact we still have Fabul, but that Baron in check that we talked about, and ordeals that could possibly give us, say, a Dark Crystal or Baron key to go do some more character checks.
Yeah, it's definitely not the worst boss you could see at the Ruby spot, but it's still gonna punch kind of hard. And there's a very cheeky way of beating that boss if you happen to have a Cecil. So like Vitasia, I don't think our runners are going to be immediately diving that hook route, especially if there's still a magma key in play.
No, but Vitasia finding that trap chest early on, it's going to allow him to completely full loot on his way out of this cave, which, again, this is a gated location, so there's going to be a higher level tier of items down here. Should be able to hopefully kit out a full team based on what he finds down here.
And because having black robes and sorcerer robes weren't enough, just pulled a wizard robe out of a chest. So this is a very, here, mages, take, be equipped, go, that kind of seed.
Yeah, to go back to that shop just for a second. Oh, look at that heroine robes in the armor shop too. But yeah, that was elixirs, sirens, silk webs, and other ones in the Evelyn shop. That is indeed a shop of shops, and one I think we'll see our runners probably hit quite a few times this seed.
The only problem is right now they can pretty much just window shop because Dathis, our very not generous restreamer, decided to not give them any money. So they can look but not touch.
Yeah, I think both runners picked up 3 or 4 sirens. I think Vitasia only picked up sirens. I don't think he picked up any silk webs. I'm pretty sure Blaze picked up at least 1 silk web. But yeah, money is going to be a thing in this flag set and in this seed for our runners, since again, they did not get much to start with. And that S-0 flag means all this wonderful loot that is absolutely worthless, like those charm harps that Vitasia is picking up, don't sell for anything.
It's one of those, yep, sorry, not sorry. Y'all too good to get some money, so gotta earn it some other way. Go fight bosses. Just like Dathis has said in chat. But that's Sylph Summon, though. I do believe the Sylph Glitch is still on for brackets. Am I right, Gambit?
It is. You can move that Rydia out of that center spot, move her to any other spot, and take advantage of casting Sylph infinitely as long as you've got enough MP to cast it once.
Yeah, very nice find. And honestly, like that Odin, not so much. Indra, maybe, but now that Sylph is on the table, is Rydia worth keeping down as an anchor? Or do you want to consider actually start leveling her up to, well, kind of act as the Sylph bot for a while?
Right now, I would 100% use this Rydia as my Sylph bot, as my healer bot. Let Rosa go to town with that samurai bow and whatever arrows I can find, and have the melee bruisers just do their thing. And as Chad pointing out, Sylph makes that karate fight a lot more manageable if we don't end up finding a Cecil, because casting Sylph after every kick heals you back up, and you should just be able to rinse and repeat.
It looks like Vitasia is definitely taking that hard by activating that Sylph Summon on Rydia. And, right now we are going to be dealing with some angry imps on the bridge to Mount Ordeals.
Yeah, that's going to be the Dark Imp fight here in the first one. 3 lovely imps, usually manned the super cannon, decided they wanted to go for a nice lovely hike today. Not too necessarily bad here. This is a very low HP and low hit point spot. Also, Medusa Arrows proc stone.
Yeah, I know it's a timing required thing, and anything involving timing in this game I usually attribute to witchcraft of some kind, where it's either it works or somehow doesn't. Vitasia's pretty much running a clinic right now and showing us how to do Medusa strats by getting it to proc twice now. Can we get the trifecta or not? Because Rydia, you ruined the fun! Meanie.
In the meantime, Blaze has exited with his Sid. We'll have to see if he chooses to go straight to Ordeals as well, and yes, he does. So we'll be interested to see if he decides to loot and finds that self-summon. In the meantime, Vitasia in the back attack, that's Ashura. That is interesting? Question mark?
It can be a rude spot for Ashura. However, we have mute daggers. We have charm arrows. I mean, the team is surprisingly well equipped to deal with Ashura-ish.
Yeah, you see Vitasia immediately equipping the mute arrows onto Rosa. Samurai bow, mute arrow. That's going to be very, very nice. The only person on our team right now that can use that mute knife is going to be that Rydia, who just swings and hits Ashura for about 200 damage, which is nice.
Does look like Vitasia is, well, I wasn't sure up there. I thought they were going to be doing the life lock glitch, but instead they're showing us the Starveil strategy of just, let Ashura heal itself and bounce it right onto my team. Thanks.
Yeah, in this situation, that's probably one of the better strats to do. This back attack spot is just so much faster than you. Using the Starveil strats, you just still need to push out some damage as quickly as possible, because that veil is not going to last all that long.
Definitely not. And actually, sure enough, Ashura has been defeated. And correct me if I'm wrong, but the length of time that the Starveil lasts is dependent on your anchor's agility? I think I heard that somewhere.
That it's your anchor's agility plus the speed of everyone else, kind of relative to said anchor.
Ah, gotcha. But we get to hear that whoo, boop from Vitasia. Now we get to see who is in the mirror room and what key item awaits him there.
In the meantime, Blaze is hot on Vitasia's heels, getting into that Dark Imp fight. We'll have to see if he still has the Medusa arrows on and if he's going to get some procs. Nope, got charm arrows on instead, though. But from this, hey, there's some character checks. It's the Earth Crystal.
Hey, we got a party rock in the house tonight.
And there is vanilla objective. That is Dark Knight Cecil.
Normally I would ask who rolled this, but, well, the King of Vanilla himself did roll this, so I'm not surprised.
And to answer your question in chat, yes, Blaze did go grab that chest that had the Sylph in it, so does have the power of Sylph on his side.
And I believe Blaze activated both the Sylph and the Odin summons onto that Rydia. Case in point, we're seeing Sylph right now. But meanwhile, while Sylph is coming on Blaze's side, we do get to find out that one day we will learn justice is not the only yada yada yada.
Well, but Vitasia gets the first of our objectives lit up, objective number 5 at just shy of 18 minutes in. And Blaze, again, not going to be very far behind.
And that's honestly, it's nice for our runners to see DKC in a spot like that, because Dark Knight Cecil, for a boss that he hits you 3 times and it's done, there can be some brutal spots for DKC. K value is probably the big one that comes to mind. Anything that has a very high physical damage spot can just be terrifying for a team.
It's going to be interesting to see where Vitasia decides to go from here. We still got Fabul opened up to us. We've still got Baron in. And again, we now have Zot as well as that hook route. I would probably be inclined to try to make all the checks I can before going down that hook route, because you never know if you might find a wayward magma key somewhere hiding.
My question is, since we do have that Earth Crystal, I wonder if, because it is so early, do you think we'll see a rate that nerfed treasury today?
At 20 minutes into the seed, I would 100% go rate that treasury.
Well, meanwhile, it does look like Vitasia, instead of going to rate that nerf treasury, he is going to rate that Baron in, and well, we found our karate problem solution.
Yeah, that actually might change my routing a little bit, depending on who these bosses are, if we can get through them. With that Cecil, and with the ability to get the ouch quickie with karate, that makes me more inclined to just go ahead and get underground as quickly as possible. We do have Sirens burning a hole in our pocket. We can just go ahead and take a couple of those, get some levels, and then come back and just run shed through the rest of the overworld and go from there.
Now, I know we have the axe, I believe the poison axe, and I don't know if they both did, but I did see a flame sword somewhere. Is that all we have for equipment for Cecil right now?
I believe it is. I don't think we've seen anything. We've seen some cane weapon in a blizzard spear that I saw Vitasia pick up. I don't think we've seen anything good for Cecil yet.
I love the amusing fact that Vitasia said, "Oh, Mylon, you can do lit 1. I can do summon 1 and show you how to actually do damage with that." With that, we've gone through the first fight, and now we are on to the second fight of Baronin, and that is a Dark Elf.
So would that have been Vitasia saying, "Was that lightning? Let me show you how"?
It was his own definition of thunderstruck.
In the meantime, Dark Elf here is not actually very bad. The spells aren't going to hit you for much. The punches will hit pretty hard once we get to the next phase. But this spot is so slow that Dark Elf probably isn't going to get too many actions. I wouldn't be surprised once we get to the second stage if we even see a punch.
Yeah, that's why Dark Elf, for me, is always one of those bosses that it's hard to place in terms of, is it hard in this spot, is it hard in that spot? Because it switches from more of a magic user to a punch noodle with its little tiny stubby feet.
Also, as you see, Sid attacking with that poison axe poisons the Dark Elf, because the second form of Dark Elf does not have the boss bit.
So would something like Weak or Stone or like Mini or Toad, would those work on Dark Elf too?
Weak would work. I do believe he still has resistances to Mini, Stone, and Instant Death, but Weak definitely works.
Gotcha.
But in the meantime, Rydia goes down. That's an adamant we get from that, and our nice shiny Cecil.
That is a very nice find. That is one half of the Forge and one half of objective number 1.
Now, the other big change from Swiss to brackets is that first objective reads the same: Half Cool Forge, Legend Sword with Adamant. Unfortunately, that is now objective mode Forge, Classic Forge, not regular Forge, which means Coco's not going to actually give you the X-Cal. He's going to take your Adamant, take your Legend Sword, forge it, and be like, yeah, nah, I want to keep it. However, the X-Cal is rotated back into the key item pool, so it can be in any key item location that we come across. For the runners, I'm pretty sure they're going to hope to find it sooner rather than later, but you never know. We might not ever find where the X-Cal is hiding today.
Well, I know we are about to find out right now. We are going to find out what is in the Troy today with Vitasia going to raid that treasury.
Raid that treasury!
I'm already going to say it, and they're 3/4 of the way done. Why can't my treasuries look like this on bracket flags?
I know, for a T-Pro Max Tier 6 treasury, that was a decent one. That was probably about a 7 or an 8. Some decent weapons, not really anything that the Cecil can use. If we find a Kane's going to be kitted out. But still, I mean, we had Silent Staff, Dragoon Armor, the Black Belt's nice, Tiara, Charm Rod, Silent Staff. This was a very, very good treasury. And Blaze right behind doing the same thing, going to rate that treasury and probably be very happy with what he finds, even though he doesn't have the knowledge of that Cecil in Baron Inn yet.
Well, that Cecil went from pretty much just wearing a cloth shirt to I am tank, hear me go bonk with this sword or dagger, whatever he has equipped at the time. So that was, I'm kind of jealous of our runners right now. That was solid.
I love that. You've got Cat Claw, Thunder Claw, Black Belt Yang. You're going to have Silent Staff, Wizard, Rosa. You had that fully decked out Cecil. You're going to have a Sid, who is rocking the Poison Axe and probably some Dragoon gear. And you've got a Rydia who's got a Charm Rod. I mean, that is a very, very well decked out team for 25 minutes into a seat.
I mean, the question then becomes, how much more looting do you do? It's that treasury had a lot of good things. Is it worth it to take the time to loot more? Maybe since they're going up Zot, maybe look for the Flame Dog chest and try to pull a tier 7, but how much more looting do you even bother with?
Well, Blaze is definitely going to do a little bit more looting. Maybe looking for that Flame Dog in these first 2 chests as he climbs Zot. I like Blaze's routing here. Has not done Baron Inn yet, but once you complete Zot, that's going to drop you off at Baron anyway. So doing this first and then just gets dropped off and you can say, hey, look, I can just do Baron Inn after this. I'm right there anyway.
We missed with Blaze, because I know Blaze went in here before Vitasia did. The Cursed Ring has been found in the public treasury, so that's going to be very helpful for agility late game.
Yeah, now you don't have to worry about keeping a Sid or a Rydia down. You know you can just slap a Cursed Ring on somebody towards the end of the seed and bam, instant anchor.
Meanwhile, we get to see what the first boss is going to be on Moonblaze's screen on the right. And as soon as Sid gets decked out with all the finest that the treasury has provided.
Yeah, Vitasia decided to go ahead and while he was still sitting down there in the treasury area, go ahead and do his equipping. Blaze waited until he got to the save point, said, I'll equip once I get up here. Takes a little bit extra time, but wants to make sure it's right. And we have, in the Magus Sister spot, a couple of Baron cards.
So, much like Ashura, these can be kind of rude, unless you have anti-mage gear, which our runners just happen to have a lot of anti-mage gear.
Yeah, that Elven Bow, Mute Arrows, Rosa, I think, has mute by now, hopefully. You see we put one of the guards to sleep.
Pointed out the Odin summon. Would that be useful against these guards?
Yes, these guards are not protected by the boss bit, so Odin would indeed, in fact, be able to take them out if it hits. Odin is great because it can clear your screen of enemies, but it has an abysmal hit rate. So doing what Blaze is doing, using self, stopping them, muting them, that's really probably the better way to go in this fight.
At 1560 from Rosa, the power of mute arrows right there. But it looks like our runners, for the most part, have the same general strategy. The only difference is, well, one extra character and one boss babe with Rosa. Heck. She is a self-reference today.
Yeah, Vitasia is currently ahead by one check. That Baron and again giving that Cecil and that Adamant. But again, Blaze not far behind. He's going to be into the second fight here in Zot faster than Vitasia. Could very easily, with the extra levels you're getting from here, make up the time in that Baron in fight. And then we have to decide, hey, do we go do the hook route or do we go chase whatever we find up here?
And that's definitely kudos to Blaze for being able to get through that fight super quickly with one less character. That's impressive in and of itself. But now we get to find, hey, speaking of anchors, we get to find out that Old Man Tella is going to be one of the characters, and those the Kaipo guards that we just see.
That would be the Kaipo guards. Since we just fought the Baron, the only other guards left are Kaipo, so we know Kaipo is in Dwarf 2. We have everyone's favorite sage, hashtag Telelife, as our first character, and under the ball we have a good old Edgy boy.
That's always the spicy find right there with Ed. And I know we've seen a long blade. I'm not sure.
We've seen a ninja as well.
Oh, we did see. Okay, yeah, we did see a ninja.
Yeah, so Tella gets to boot.
That was enough time for Tella to say hi, make sure everyone was okay. They got their packed lunches, and now bye.
So this is going to be a conundrum for Vitasia. Is you see that edge? Do you take him? And if you do, who do you drop at this point?
That's, I mean, with okay, that I'd almost say, and this is not my bias coming through, even though it's going to sound like it, I would almost say drop Rydia on account of you've got a Cecil. You've got a very well kitted out Yang that will have the time to get the levels on him. And now you have an edge. You've got a Zerker team in a nutshell.
I think I would have to agree. Rydia is the weak link on this team, and getting rid of her for that edge would make the most sense to me. In the meantime, we do find that everyone's favorite Nope Rope, the Canadian Note Noodle himself, Ogopogo, here at the top of tower. Going to be annoying with those big waves, but otherwise very, very manageable in this spot. Don't see either runner having any issues getting through here. But Vitasia gets rid of the Sid. I'm a little shocked about that, but might be wanting to go with the fast anchor for right now, and then maybe switch up with that curse ring to a Rydia anchor later on.
Could having the Sylph summon have anything to do with that, you think?
That's what I would think. Sylph early is great. So yeah, I might want to just still keep and leverage the power of Sylph.
And meanwhile, the second best Canadian in this restream team has been defeated on Blaze's side, and we get to find out what the key item is. And the nice benefit of Tower of Zot is Rosa gets the exit spell, which is the only way she can learn exit. So, GG, Rosa.
While we're being transported back to Baron, again, let's shout out our behind-the-scenes crew. Dath is on our restream, Alchemy on our tracking. Without them, we would just be talking over nothing, so thank you for what you guys do. And that is the package. Probably not what you want to see, but hey, it could be that forum.
There have been multiple races in this entire tournament where the package check, either checking it or not checking it, has determined the outcome of a race. So I'm hard pressed to skip it or save it to the last minute. Blaze has decided to follow the routing provided and go right into Baron and find that. Probably very happy to see Cecil, but we'll get to find out on his side how he's going to handle the choice for who he's going to get rid of instead of airing. Who he's going to get rid of to put Cecil on the team. Words are hard. I almost said it's Monday, but it's Tuesday.
It's second Monday.
It is second Monday. Thanks for bailing me on that one.
Every time we've got Vitasia going through, again, the Ogopogo fight. Blaze gets into the Dark Elf fight. Probably going to be a lot faster with this edge. Plus, again, having a fifth party member, whereas Vitasia only had 4 when he came into this fight. Also, our Rosa and Rydia are so kitted out. You see Rydia pretty much dodging, only got hit by the ice. Rosa only got hit by the lightning and the ice. Everybody just saying, hey, we can dodge everything. Come at us.
You know, how does that work with the multicast that Dark Elf does? Like, does each elemental spell apply damage, or is it just kind of like, I've never understood that.
The way I understand it, each cast is basically like a different spell being cast at you, and it just adds all 3 damages up at the end, and that's what you take. Which is why you can see some people dodge 1 or 2 of the casts. Other people get hit by all 3, and their damage numbers vary. Granted, this spot is not a very high magic spot, so even those who got hit with all 3 only took like 60 damage. Not really a difficult spot here, and down goes to Dark Elf.
Yeah, makes sense. See, this is why I like getting paired up with smart people.
I don't know, I wouldn't consider myself smart considering how badly I lost last week.
I'm sorry! I'm sorry.
The meantime, Vitasia going immediately to check that package, and that is just an Edward. I'm sorry, Oscar, we're not going to see him this seed.
But it's right there. Oh, sad bard noises.
Yeah, no point even going through to check the boss at the end because we know where our Demist is, and we've already done our Dire Knight. So yeah, that package isn't going to be checked. Sorry.
I'm sad. Unfortunately, I did miss what Blaze's choice was with the character. And I'm guessing he got rid of Yang. If that Thunderclaw and Charmclaw are suddenly gone, he did.
Yep, he got rid of the Yang. He kept the Rydia over the Yang, which, again, the power of Sylph. That's Cat Claws for sale in the weapon shop, by the way.
Because, see, all Blaze had to do was get rid of it for free because Sub-Zero. And then suddenly, boom, they show up in the shop.
Meantime, Blaze finds his Edward and says, no, thank you, I'm fine.
Rip spoon flag. That's all I'm going to say. Although, okay, with Edge on the team, finding the spoon is a really nice start. But it's better when Eddie can equip it.
But we have some divergence here. Vitasia has Fated Fabul. Is going to go ahead and dive this hook route, whereas Blaze is going to go and say, you know what? I want to see if there's a cheeky magma key here. Let's go ahead and do this Fabul check.
Yeah, going into Fabul versus Fading, it's always a heated topic because you never want to multi-stop certain locations, and Fabul has the potentiality to force you to go there 3 times. Once to defend Fabul, once to say hi to Sheila after you see Yang the first time in the Sylph Cave, and then a final time after you've flapped him with the pan. So fading Fabul doesn't surprise me from Vitasia. He's hoping to pull a pan somewhere so he can kind of do everything at once. But at the same time, like you said, a cheeky magma key would be kind of funny right here.
Yeah. We did see in the shop there at Fabul a cabin zone. Blaze did pick up 6 of them. That's actually a very good find. That's orbs in the King Queen spot. And Antlion decided to crawl out of his cave and try to invade Fabul today.
I'm not gonna lie, I love seeing Antlion not on the moon because a lunar Antlion is scary. Here, it's a cute ugly bug, but not much else.
Yeah, and CPU at King Queen, this is not a hard fight at all. The biggest draw to King Queen spot is it's got an incredibly high physical attack. The CPU doesn't attack physically. Its Mazer does 10% of your health every time it hits. Sylph can easily heal that, and Sylph gets around the wall the CPU pulls up, so this is basically a free fight for Vitasia.
Especially because a lot of times with CPU, it's a slog just to chew through all of its HP. But this spot, I think, only has around 8,000, so it shouldn't be that long. Blaze, unfortunately, has found out that the Fabul defense only had some additional Dragoon armor because apparently 2 sets wasn't enough. So I'm guessing Blaze will be cutting his losses and heading down the hook route himself.
All right, so headcanon time. A previous Dark Knight and his best Dragoon friend were traveling, and the Dragoon fell. So Cecil came and spent the night at Fabul and left his Dragoon armor there to honor his fallen friend.
But didn't he get betrayed in Fabul?
I guess that's true. Yeah, that was the first place he got betrayed at. So Blaze is going to show us who is in the bed. That is a mop. We want to find a Sandra Bee post haste.
Yeah, that is a sudden. I want this key item now. FBL Fabul had Dragoon armor, which our runners did go to the treasury, which had 2 sets of Dragoon armor. So we've got a lot of Dragoon armor today.
In the meantime, Vitasia is through the CPU. Says, "I don't need a safety save. We're going to go straight into this karate fight." Karate is going to hit twice, kick twice, and Cecil's going to go boom. Karate's going to go ouch. And Vitasia is going to be our first runner on the ground, about the 40-minute mark.
That is the cutest amount of physical damage I've ever seen in this spot. That was adorably, well, not bad.
Yeah, this has been one of the kinder hook routes I've seen, and I've seen some pretty rude ones.
I've rolled some pretty rude ones.
You don't say.
Why do you think I'm laughing?
In the meantime, it's going to be interesting to see where Vitasia chooses to go first. I mean, you've got the entire underground open to you. Do you check and see who the boss is at the top of the tower? If it's something free, just go ahead and take it real fast, or do you go ahead and just send it for one?
You know who does really great against Odin?
Would that be a Thunderclaw Yang?
No! It'd be a best boy Edward!
Yeah, okay, I can see that too.
Sorry, I had to throw that one in there. Honestly, I'm torn right now between going to Fey March to get the free March chest and see who the bosses are, and go to Dwarf Castle. Dwarf Castle's been a pretty hot commodity location, I guess, if you will. It's less so with us knowing where the DKC fight is, but it's 2 bosses, it's a character, and it's a key item. So if not one, I'd go to the other, or Vitasia could just say, I'm going to shop first and go to wow, what is the name of this place that I can't remember?
Tamra?
Thank you.
You're welcome. We have a radio and TV administrator as our job dwarf today.
Did see a fire claw, so that's continuing with the elemental weakness abuse right there.
But yeah, going back to what you're saying, Dwarf Castle sounds like a pretty good bet. Again, we're still looking for that Porum, and that is a character check. Starmails and Bacchus here in the shop in Tamra. That's actually a pretty good find.
Yeah, that's especially with the amount of melee characters on the team. That is, like you said, just really nice. Right now we are doing, I normally say a fire sale, but I guess I'd almost call this the possum special of just putting everything in the trash.
Yeah, it's again, SL0, don't even want to take the time to try to sell stuff. Just going to toss it all in the trash can and be like, nope, bye, don't need you, see ya.
That's the slight problem with SL0. There's no real reason to sell anything, so it's just gonna burn a hole in your inventory. As pointed out in chat, Odin wasn't even used. It was just trash. Yeah, we have Sylph. We don't need anything else.
Well, to be fair, we found 2 Odin orbs, so I do believe that they used 1.
You're not wrong. Meanwhile, Vitasia is going to be heading to Dwarf Castle and show us who at least the first boss is there, in addition to any shopping that they might do.
Yeah, that's the other thing is we know that the second fight in Dwarf is a freebie with the officer shoulder fight, so might be better just go ahead, take a look at it, and if it's a somewhat doable boss, just go ahead and grab it.
Especially with those coffins for sale right there. That's nice.
Yeah, those coffins, again, made that officer soldier fight absolutely free.
So I know the soldiers can be taken down with coffins. Can the officer can the officer get taken down with a coffin?
Yes, if you coffin the officer and the soldiers have no officer to guide them anymore, they will start punching themselves because their script is to attack and they don't care who they attack. If they're not given direction, they'll just attack each other. But that's a Baigen in that front spot. That's a little rude.
Yeah, and I think Vitasia is kind of upset right now because I don't know if you noticed Paladin weapon was available in that shop.
That's a light sword if I saw it.
That was a light sword.
But one good thing about Baigen here, well, board AI going to board AI and take Ready out immediately, was Baigen puts a wall up whenever you cast spells against him, but Sylph goes straight through that wall. Unfortunately, board AI said, hey, you have a Sylph caster? Yeah, let me fix that.
And it's like, oh, since the Sylph caster's down, let me take out your white mage. Okay, now we'll fight.
Yeah, this Baigen is being very, very mean at the current moment. However, now Cecil in the back row going to probably be using some cover strats, I would imagine.
And that is exactly what's happening right now.
One thing you got to watch out for is that back arm does use vampire every once in a while, and those low health characters will fall immediately to a vampire. As seen by that.
You are not wrong. Heck. So with back attack cover strats, the back attack or not back attack, excuse me, the back slot cover strats, the back row isn't required, but it just he takes less damage, correct?
Correct, yes.
And that 1 damage is just because Cecil has like mega tank gear, correct?
Yep, the dragoon armor, the crystal gloves. I forget what hat he's wearing, but yeah, he's decked to the nines in defensive gear. So Baigen's going to punch as hard as he can, but it's only unfortunately going to do 1 damage. In the meantime, Blaze did get through that hook route, only about 4 minutes behind Vitasia here, so not that far. This is still anybody's race depending on routing.
Yeah, especially factoring in that extra football check, that's pretty impressive. And it looks like Blaze is taking a page out of Vitasia's book and just going to be saying hi to that Baigen as well.
Again, you're looking at a character check trying to go for objective number 4. Meantime, Vitasia is through that Baigen. We're about to find out whether we get rewarded with our character here or if it's a dud.
Survey says it is. Hey, we have value.
Yeah, that is agenda number 4. That is Porum. As Vitasia is showing us, you don't have to actually take the Porum in order to get the objective. Just having her offer to join your team is enough, and that is a objective right there.
Meanwhile, we do have Edge showing us the drain sword hype about chucking that sword right at the officer.
Yep, 1,300 damage. Not going to be enough to take him out, but and Cecil following up with an attack, and it looks like we're going to get a berserk out on Yang as well.
On Blaze's side, he did not do any shopping, but at the same time, you're seeing, well, just how much nice damage that he's doing in his own right. So, I wouldn't be surprised if he's able to catch up to Vitasia very quickly. And yes, Galahad says hi, chat.
Galahad's such a good boy.
He is best loaf of bread.
Meantime, board AI being a lot nicer to Blaze than it was to Vitasia. All of Blaze's characters are still alive. There goes the main body of Bigan. So those arms will eventually just self-destruct. And then he'll be on to his officer soldier fight. In the meantime, Vitasia's defeated it. And here comes the blue hand.
Now, if they were allowed to self-destruct, the arms would do the same amount of damage as their current HP?
Yes, whatever the remaining HP is, that's the amount of damage they would do.
Ah, gotcha. See, again, smart person on comms. You can learn so much. And if you want to learn more, because it's segue time, we have a Discord, we have websites, we have guides, we have spreadsheets, we have a lot of heckin' good stuff that can show you everything you need to know, like finding out that item is a required pink tail.
Yes, that is double value here in Dwarf with that Porum and that pink tail. We are one objective away from Go Mode. We either need a Legend Sword or a Twin Harp.
Well, we're not quite in Go Mode yet, Gambit.
We're close.
Well, we would be in Crystal Mode. We don't have access to Z yet.
Well, we have access to Dwarf Castle. We can just 64 floor glitch it, right?
No, please, no. I mean, we could try to bacon room this. If that flag was on, Gambit's getting cheeky over here and throwing in the 64 floor glitch in the brackets. But yeah, that was on. And somebody did that. Kudos. Enjoy that.
In the meantime, Vitasia has gone down to the Fey March, is doing some looting before going to give us the key item check. But yeah, you're right. We still need a way to zero this, whether that's the Darkness Crystal or the Pass. And I think we're all secretly hoping that Twin Harp and or Legend Sword, preferably Twin Harp, is up on the moon somewhere, so we get the maximum out of our seed instead of it being a quasi-jet seed, as it looks like it might be right now.
Well, now we're one key item away from Go Mode.
Or you can just ignore everything I just said because none of it matters anymore.
I think that's the closest I've gotten to like a pseudo commentator's curse by calling that out. I love it.
Meantime, we found Cure 3s in the shop here in the Fey March. Vitasia did pick up a couple. Those are going to be good for later on. And then we're going to go get a check of our Fey March bosses and see who is down here.
Let's see, the King and Queen of Fey March today is being played by... Nope. Well, okay, hold on. Pause. One is nope. One is yes.
Yeah, that Assurance Rod is free as free can get. That is King Queen Evelyn. That is sit around, let them cast a couple fire spells, and Bob's your uncle, we're done. Let's go ahead and get a key item. The other is a very nasty Pain Turtle, which, all honesty, isn't that bad here if you can get some early damage out real fast.
Does it just not have... Well, I thought the Leviathan spot had some decent physical damage.
It does, but you're only going to get that one punch before the wave comes up. And if you can push enough damage out early, you've got at least 2 characters, maybe 3, that can survive a wave.
That's true. That'd be the other question of just who would have enough HP to deal with that. But yeah, that makes sense. It's one of those instinctive things where I see a turtle and immediately go... No.
As a matter of fact, this will be a situation. You still got that Thunderclaw. Put that Thunderclaw on that Yang and berserk him up. He should be able to survive that first wave. And wouldn't be surprised if we get him down into the hiding in the shell form before we even see a second wave. Hey, you want another cat claw?
Apparently. What you don't know is probably there's mega value behind Turtle, just for the sake of putting mega value behind Turtle.
I'm hoping that it's Twin Harp and the Legend Sword behind that Turtle.
Right.
And our runners go do 17 of 17, everything else.
Yeah. But it looks like Vitasia is going to be setting up, at the very least, Sheila 1 and then most likely going to Fabul, checking out Fabul defense, checking out that first Sheila check. I know this is another hot button topic. You have the pink tail. It's the required objective. But a lot of people will sometimes fade pink tail or rat tail until you get the other tail, and you can turn this into a Miles check. Do you fade the pink tail until you get the rat tail, or you just go and turn it in?
I go and turn it in. I go ahead because I want to swap my airship as soon as we get above ground anyway. So I go straight over to Evelyn, I land the Falcon, I pick up the Enterprise, and I'm already right there. Let's just go ahead, grab the hovercraft, bring it over where we need it, and go ahead and pick up whatever's our pigtail item today. Because unfortunately, it's not going to be an adamant armor, because adamant armors are OP and turned off for this tournament.
Now I know what everyone's hoping for, except me. I'd like to see a white shirt because I enjoy a good meme. But this is one of those rare occasions where you can potentially get a crystal sword. I hope I didn't jinx it.
See, I'd like to see a white sphere just because we haven't seen Kane.
Oh, that'd be funny too. I like it.
Granted, it is a dart, so I mean, but. Hey, close. Dragon Sphere, I'll come on. But yes, that is objective number 3 off the board for Vitasia. We need a Legend Sword or a Twin Harp. And he's got 2 checks. Granted, he doesn't know that the Fabul defense isn't going to give us anything. But also has Sheila 1. In the meantime, Blaze has moved on, set up Sheila 1, is probably heading straight to Fabul.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. Meanwhile, Moonblaze is probably taking the same idea with the pink tail and turning it in to be disappointed. So at this point, there's not really much else other than you take your chances with Odin or you take your chances with Kanatsu.
Yeah, those are really the only 2 spots other than that Sheila 1 that we have not seen yet. So something's going to have to give here in a minute. And the great thing is our runners are basically going to be at square even in just a second. Though I like what Blaze is doing. Drops the hovercraft off, is going to go check Sheila 1 first, just in case it is that rat tail.
Oh, that is galaxy level. This is why y'all are good at running this game, and I'm just here.
Hey, you're good at running the game if there's an Edward in the seed.
Yeah, that's the funny thing, you're not wrong.
I mean, we have told Sheila, and that's a womp. That's a silent staff. And Blaze just resets out and says, nope, I'm not keeping that.
Sheila does not currently have the goods right now.
That means Odin or Kanazo. Take your pick.
Can I not? Can they just go away on their own?
Well, I personally go with that Odin first. Top of tower, it's a lot longer of a climb, I know. But that spot is not a very high physical spot, not a very high magic spot. Decent HP, but again, we've got a Thunderclaw. Vitasia still has a Yang. Blaze has an Edge. Put that Thunderclaw on one of those 2 and just go to town. That Odin is not going to see a Suzuki at all.
No, I think our runners also, and this is prepping for a hopeful Kanatsu fight. I'm pretty sure our runners, at least one of them has found an Ice Claw. Yep, sure enough, there it is. Blaze also has the Ice Claw. So that's actually going to be a well-kitted out team for the Turtle if he wants to go that route, or has to go that route.
In the meantime, Vitasia says, I want to get some more levels. Might be thinking about that Turtle. It's going to go ahead and pop some of those Sirens for some eggs on the ground.
And what's interesting is the Ice Claw is missing from Vitasia's side, so I don't know if he has it equipped or not, but that, Vitasia does not have the Ice Claw.
No, that Ice Claw went along with his Fire Sail a little earlier.
Ah, gotcha. Though Double Cat Claw is really nice, though.
Well, he's going to take some of the Trout Chest. That Thunderclaw going to do work. Maybe fishing for, hopefully, a Crystal Sword?
Potentially. A defense sword, I take, yes. Here, I will take a defense sword, thank you.
Hey, that's an upgrade over that mute dagger that you've been using. So, oh yes.
Now, okay, here's a question for you, because you're good at this game. We have an edge. We have the alerts. We know where sirens are, but our money's limited. Is it worth it to steal sirens? Not a whole lot, but a couple.
I think it depends on where you feel you are in the seed. In Blaze's case, he doesn't know it, but he was a little bit slower getting through that hook route. He might already feel behind and say, hey, look, I just need to go fast. I don't have the time to sit here and try to steal some sirens. But in a situation, no money, it wouldn't be a bad idea to try to steal like 3 or 4 and just be like, let's just supplement what we have. Since we don't really have the money to go buy much more in Evelyn, just steal them while we're here. Especially if this pays off with, like, say, a darkness crystal up here. Then you say, okay, do I steal these now, and do I go up to the moon and see if they have hourglasses and possibly do King Ryu's on the moon instead of doing eggs?
That makes sense. Meanwhile, Vitasia is also taking the route of, I don't want to deal with a turtle right now. It looks like he'll be heading up to go see his Odins in short order as well.
Vitasia's doing exactly what you suggested. He's going to steal some sirens.
Definitely can't blame him for that one. Now
and Yang just says, nope, bye.
Now, a thing with the stealing with Edge, I know the center spot, it's the anchor, but it also gives more accuracy. Does that include the sneak command? Or is that kind of its own thing?
I don't know. I think it's its own thing. I think the sneak command relies on how many levels you have and is not tied to accuracy in the way that attacks are. Death is a reader in chat saying he believes it's magic defense versus agility, which I tend to agree with.
Gotcha.
So I don't think center slot makes a difference in that front.
It makes sense. Meanwhile, our fantastic moonblazewolf is showing us the power of lightning damage versus Odin. Soft in chat also pointing out it's whatever monster stat cry affects. Oh, poor him. Your one good use with the cry, the only good use with the cry command.
I have no good words for Porum right now.
Fair.
Meantime, both our runners are going to be in this Odin fight at the same time. Actually, Blaze getting through the Odin fight as Vitasia starts his.
It'd be funny if this was Darkness Crystal and then the Sand Ruby was behind Kanatsu. I really hope the Sand Ruby's behind Kanatsu.
So Oscar, which one will win?
I'm still waiting for my turtle soup emote. Heck.
So now we see if Blaze, with that Darkness Crystal, decides, hey, let's steal a couple sirens on our way down. But does not look like it, not moving to take any of the chests on the way around. So probably just going to hightail it out of here and more likely go to the moon.
It's like, do you even bother doing a grind before then? Or do you just kind of bang zoom and hope you find a moon word when you head up there?
Right now, I'm trying to look and see what bosses we have left. We've seen pretty much all the freebies.
Alice.
Yeah, we've seen imps, we've seen both sets of guards, we've seen King Queen Evelyn, we've seen Yang, we've seen Dark Elf, who would have been free with a holy sword.
Wyvern's available. Valus is available. The Gauntlet is available.
Golbez is still available.
Golbez is available. Magus Sisters could be interesting in certain spots.
Yeah, there is not anything free left over that we could find. Okay, Bahamut, yes.
Alpine pointing out in chat, Moonlink looking not very haunted, but nasty. You are not wrong. I love it. And as Blaze looks like he's heading to the moon and Vitasia is heading down the tower, again, quick shout out to the people behind the scenes that are making everything look amazing. Dathis giving us a healthy sample of vanilla, and making everything look pretty. Alchemy doing his best to make everything light up and tell us what's going on, because Gambit and I are just talking here and enjoying some good fun. Make sure you give them some follows, some love. Give our runners, Vitasia, moonblazewolf, and everybody competing in the LHL tournament love. And especially give some love to Gambit, because he is amazing and is a Scala Kitty certified good noodle. Gambit is good people, and honestly one of the kindest souls that I have met in this community, and that's saying a lot because there's some really good people here. So give Gambit some love. Seriously, he's awesome.
Oh, I'm blushing.
But you can't see because you're wearing your respirator.
But yes, also give a follow to my co-commentator Asuka, who is the roller of very, very rude seeds. You definitely don't want to miss any restream she does that she's on. They're all wonderful, so give her a follow as well.
I was gonna make a comment because Blaze just saw not us in the shop, but I was laughing, so I couldn't.
In the meantime, we're going to have simultaneous trips to the moon here.
That is so
looks like
cool.
Blaze is about half a second ahead.
This is awesome! I'm sorry, it fascinates me that anytime in a race, runners pretty much say, and they're both going to the shop! I love this! It's just...
Yeah, if not for the fact left the whale on opposite sides, and B, they're using different front characters, I'd asked Athos if we had the stream synced for some reason.
They're like the same spot. Death isn't in chat. I do shenanigans occasionally. Stop at shenanigans. But we do have divergence, unfortunately. We have Blaze checking out the character, and while Vitasia looks like he's going to be checking out K value. But today's Lunar Deus character just happens to be floating down right now, and it is a duplicate. Yay.
Well, Blaze, if wants to take that Yang again, definitely can get him back, because remember, we got rid of him originally. For Zasia, that's going to be absolutely worthless, because Yang's already in his party.
Okay, I just saw something interesting. So, because it's no dupes, and when Blaze got rid of the Yang the first time, I'm guessing he took the equipment because that Yang didn't even have claws equipped.
That's correct. With no dupes on, if you dismiss the character, if they try to rejoin the party, they rejoin at the same levels and with the same equipment that they left your party with. So if you take their equipment when they leave the party, they don't have any equipment on them when you refine them. But they still retain the same levels as they were when you got rid of them.
That is so cool. You know what's so cool though? Sushi, because I'm hungry and I haven't had dinner yet. So I'm hoping Vitasia can get through this Octomam because, well, sushi. How is Octomam right? Okay, that answers my question. Octomam punch hard.
Yes, the Bahamut spot is the tie for the largest punchy spot in the game, highest attack power, tied with Leviathan and I want to say Ogopogo spot, or it might be Wyvern spot. I'm not sure. One of those two. So yeah, Octomam's going to punch hard. But the good thing about Octomam is her script is every 3 hits she loses a tentacle, she slows down, and gets very manageable, and you don't have to worry about it because you'll be getting off tons of damage before she even gets a punch in.
Wait, it's every 3 hits? I thought it was like an HP barrier thing.
No, it's every 3 hits. So you could literally just take an entire battle and just throw Thor Rages, and after every 3 Thor Rages, even if they only do 1 damage, she'll lose a tentacle.
Gambit, you're so smart. I didn't know that. What I did know, Warlocks are weak to being muted, which is why Blaze has decided to do a little bit of a Warlock grind on the moon and mute them so they can do nothing except look pretty with their clothes and do nothing.
To bring up a comment in chat from our tracker Alchemy, you can also overflow Octomam. If you don't kill or get rid of all her HP in a certain number of hits, I want to say it's 255 hits, she'll get all her tentacles back, and it's quite hilarious.
What? It's like those the zombie starfish that loses their appendages and they grow them back, or the appendage grows a starfish.
Oh boy, that's go mode.
Oh, that's
Vitasia with pay dirt in cave value, living up to its name. That's a legend sword. That's going to be objective number 1, and that is go mode.
wow. All right. So Moon definitely not haunted today. What do you do? I don't know if Vitasia's levels are high enough just yet to take on Z? Question mark?
Oh, we've only got 8 key items, so whatever we do for a grind, we're not going to be getting that double HP. But I'd probably say go run back through Upland, buy whatever you can in Sirens, blow the rest of your bank on those Sirens, and then probably come back up here to the moon and do what Blaze is doing, just do a Warlock grind. You've got that Rosa that can mute them. Just grind up and then go to Z.
Would it almost be worth it to do bosses if he can somehow navigate his way through not terrible bosses and try to get a key item or 2?
Knowing what bosses we have left in the pool, no, not a chance.
Just done. No, fair enough.
I mean, you've got a pretty high chance of Alvalis, Golbez, and Wyvern being in any of those given spots down there on the moon. You've got a pass in hand. I go do Warlocks, I leave out, and I take that pass.
Oh, that's one of those shops that's got great items with the Moon Veil, the Protect Ring, but again, yeah, that 40,000 is not much, especially with that 10 key items.
Yeah, that 40,000 is 10 Sirens, and that's immediately what I go get.
Berserk now in chat saying maybe doing a grind and then possibly taking the Ribbon Room as well. That is one of, I think it's either the highest or the second highest EXP spot in the game. Again, it kind of boils down to who is in the Ribbon Room.
It is the second highest. The CPU spot is the highest.
Ah, gotcha.
Ribbon Room is 100,000. CPU is 150,000.
Oh, this is interesting on Vitasia's side. Instead of getting Sirens, he's gotten Star Veils.
Are we maybe looking at a 1200 HP strat here?
Possibly. I'm here for it.
I mean, you've got the Yang, you've got the Cecil, you've got the Edge. All of them should be over that 1200 HP mark.
We've got the Silk Lab, I'm pretty sure. Are there vampires in here?
There are.
Can only buy one.
Can only buy one, sadly. But hey, one vampire is better than none.
Okay. I'm not gonna lie, I'm super hyped for this because I just did my first 1200 HP strat literally this weekend. So this is awesome to see. There's many ways to take on Z, but then there's some very niche ones for certain scenarios. And if you're trying to take on Z really quickly without doing much grinding, 1200 HP is the way to go. Again, if you have characters over 1200 HP, which he has 4. Now, Gambit, why is 1200 a very specific number for this?
Well, the Zorma's fight has certain scripts, and one of the scripts is called nerfing the big bangs. A nerf big bang can be done by casting a slow spell, a direct damage spell such as nuke, lightning, virus, anything like that. Even using certain items can cause that counter, such as using a crystal again. However, when you nerf a big bang, the max damage that it can do to you is roughly about 1200 hit points. So if you're nerfing every single big bang, as long as you have over 1200 hit points, you're fine. The other thing here, though, is using Star Veils. Every time you go to nerf, he's going to counter with that nuke spell. And as long as you got Star Veils up on all your characters, that's just going to bounce off, and Zormus is basically going to nuke himself in the face over and over and over until you hopefully push through all his HP and defeat him. So it's going to be interesting to see, because the other thing that you need is Cure 3s, and I think we only have like 2 or 3.
I saw 5, which is
a lot less than what you want. You want about 10 or 15, so.
I'm almost wondering if Vitasia might try to do something real cool by once black holes come in, he heals with Rosa. That's the only thing I could think of. But
possible.
But we don't have much time because chat, get those Z flags out. There's a lot of things we can do, but we can't randomize Z. Z stays there. We can change what Z looks like, and there's a billion different. There's like 526 or no 527 or 8 now.
528.
Or 528, and the only way that we can get it to transform, in addition to using the crystal, is to ask a very specific question. And Gambit is the one that is destined to ask the question in this seed.
So for this first game of the bracket round of 32, whose butt are we going to be kicking tonight?
I'm always going for Zero Border Riot.
Did Vitasia toss a Starveil before tossing the crystal?
Toss 2, and isn't it when Z shakes?
Yes, it'll completely remove the Starveil. I don't know if Vitasia knows this or not, because the way he is working on putting Starveils up, it doesn't seem like he does.
Huh.
Oh, hey, look, that's a gauntlet.
Oh, that's a hard nope.
That was at the Wyvern spot, because it looks like Blaze was doing a cheeky check up there.
It's a skip.
So, are we skipping the Zeromus fight? Does Vitasia just win here? Can I get an admin to let me know exactly how we play this?
I mean, I think Blaze pulled that card for noping out of the Wyvern fight. But I thought it was the objectives or get you the crystal and not win. I'm confused. Can I use the card here too?
So remember those rude bosses I was talking about that show up on the moon? Found one!
Oh, that's... I'm curious. I'm going to be curious what Blaze's thoughts are on this lovely, lovely moon. But meanwhile, Vitasia is finding out with that edge on the ground that Starveil that edge had was not there anymore.
Yeah, I didn't actually see, did Vitasia change his battle speed down? Because 1200 shots are best done like battle speed 5, battle speed 6. And
Vitasia's on battle speed 3 from what I saw. 3 or 4.
yeah, this is not a very, very good setup, I think, for these strats. It's going to be interesting to see. It's still possible to pull them off. Not saying that Vitasia is not a good enough runner. He definitely could pull these off. Also, oh, that is a brilliant thing.
Yes.
Using Sylph to trigger the counter nukes. Oh, that is amazing, because that gets you your heal. That's less Cure 2s you have to worry about, or Cure 3s you have to worry about using.
That's coming back around to your turn after getting skipped and just throwing down the draw 4 wild.
And we've got vampires coming out, we've got Thor Rages coming out, everybody's got Starveils currently up.
Meanwhile, on Blaze's side, speaking of Starveils, he is taking on this Golbez.
And the one bad thing here for Blaze is Golbez is a split XP spot. Unfortunately, that Shadow Dragon does sap some of the XP you would have got here normally, so not going to get quite as much XP as he wanted, but still in great shape to get through this fight.
I almost think it would be low-key devastating if this particular spot gave the Twin Harp, knowing that the forge is just in the cave to the left. Yeah, as mentioned...
If we see a Twin Harp from here, we probably still have a race, because 1200 strats are not quick strats. They take some time.
Oh, that's true. That is very true. And as brought up by Kylan Woods, I believe, if I said your name wrong, my apologies. I think Holy gets the weak. They're talking about the different counters that Z can do. Holy gets a weak counter. Not sure if anything else gets unique counters. Seeing a lot of nukes, that's the general counter. Holy does do the weak. Is there anything else that's specialized?
White spells, which are those holy, those do get weak counters. Everything else pretty much gets a nuke counter.
Gotcha.
There might be one other counter. I don't remember it because it's such a rare counter that you never actually ever see. So, no, and I don't really usually see it.
Fair enough. Vitasia is getting that. Looks like that Rydia came back up again, so we can keep doing those self casts.
Yeah, using those sylphs to heal in this fight is just, again, absolutely heads up thinking from Vitasia. Again, going into this fight, I was worried about, okay, only having a couple of tier 3s, that's going to be rough. Showing me up, saying, hey, I've got sylph, I'm fine. I can just brute force my way through this using sylph, which is amazing. And mad props to him, and I can't wait to ask him about it once our runners finish the seed and we get to an interview phase, if they decide to want to interview.
And even more so, the fact that Vitasia only had a very small amount of star veils. We have a Rosa. Rosa has wall. It's just that's 2,000. What's a good phrase? Like Vitasia's playing chess and we're all playing checkers.
The one bad side about wall is it does not last as long as the star veils. So, but on the bright side, it should last long enough between black holes.
And that is not the rolls you want to see on Rosa and Rydia specifically. Unfortunately, Vitasia decided to reset out of that one, and they are leaving.
I might be thinking about going to grind a little bit, just get a little bit more levels and see if we can get a little bit more stability. It was a great effort, though. Definitely amazing to even think to say, hey, I can try this right here, right now. Let's just go for it. So, in the meantime, Blaze did pick up a Baron key from that ribbon room. It was the only thing of note. The other one was just an item. I think it was a silent staff, all honesty, but it wasn't a key item, so yeah.
Well, Gambit, though, the interesting thing is we know who the first boss is.
Yep, that is a Demist at Biden.
Yeah.
So that could potentially lead to some value.
And right now, that puts Blaze at 7 key items. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're actually, Vitasia has 8 because he has the crystal, but that could lead to some interesting situations, especially if Mom Bomb happens to give a key item itself. Blaze could actually be hitting 10 key items and making just a much better grind option available. This is definitely, as mentioned by Alchemy in chat, the race is still on right now.
Yeah, Vitasia made the great check and K value, but this is still anyone's game. Vitasia needs levels. Wants to try to get everybody up over that 1200 HP mark before he possibly goes and tries those strats again, or wants to go ahead and just grind up and say, let's go ahead and get it. Now, does have the edge, is still here on the earth, didn't take all the trap chests, so could still go up and steal some more sirens. So,
that's the point. Meanwhile, Blaze is taking on this Mom Bomb, and Mom Bomb can be notoriously rough. Not trying to put salt in the wound, but can be notoriously rough in a lot of different spots, particularly, is it melee spots?
Yes, Mom Bomb hits and hits hard. But the other thing with Mom Bomb is Mom Bomb gets 9,000 extra HP whatever spot she shows up in, unless it's her vanilla spot. And that's to kind of account for her puffing up like she's doing now on Blaze's side, and then her explode and her little baby bombs. Yeah, she can be rude in various different spots, especially fast spots like this one, which is a white spear, but Blaze has the power, damages through it, and takes it down, see what he gets.
It's not a key item, it's a gold apple. It's okay.
An apple a day keeps the bomb away?
Not gonna lie, every time I see Mom Bomb puff up, I immediately think of the Stay Puft Marshmallow, but on fire. Because that's just how my brain works. It's like
And
it's just
and now I will not unsee that ever. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So one thing that's going to be interesting to see is, does Blaze go back for that alt gauntlet as his grind? Is he waiting on trying to get 10 key items down here before going back there? Again, with that Darren key you said now at 7, this would need to be 8 here. Would have to end up going to the Pale Dim spot and K value for 9 and 10 and have both pay out. However, we know K value would be go mode, so.
Wow, that's a fight. Elements and Ogopogo.
Yes, this is rude but doable. All that Element Sprite is going to do is hit and hit hard. However, you saw Rosa use the Star Veil. You can reflect spells. Well, you can try to reflect spells if Rydia can stay up. And Fire 3s are going to do quad 9 damage. So, just keep reflecting those Fire 3s. You never have to see the other 3 sprites, such as the Quarter Leg, the Kanazo, and the Valvalis.
As brought up by a restreamer in chat, he's done this before. Don't change to Ruby, because ironically, Mylan Zed in this form is not that difficult if you know how to mitigate a lot of things and keep it in Mylan form. Ruby's just mean. Plain and simple. Straight up mean in this one.
The Elements Ruby script is Fire 2, Fire 3, Glare. And they're lesser versions of the spells that Ruby uses by himself. But in this spot, they still hurt a lot. Like a lot. Like, oh my gosh, please stop. Ow.
That's I'll deal with Spiky Boy with joints facing in the wrong direction, and it's like a Pokemon gone bad. I don't know how else to describe it. Like it just look at that arm. It's like a bone and a hand. I got nothing. But Vitasia is going after Z once more. So it gives me something to look at other than Mylan Zed's right arm.
Yeah, Vitasia did his complement of eggs, got some levels. Should probably be looking at a more straightforward Z fight here instead of the 1200, but might be doing a little bit of hybrid. We'll see. In the meantime, yeah, this fight has gone a little bit sideways for Blaze. One of the things, though, taking down the Sid to try to keep him as an anchor. Unfortunately, the process of having to do that has left him a little bit worse for wear.
You can definitely almost say this is a cursed attempt at the elements.
But in the meantime, there goes one more Fire 3 from Rydia. This is true. Unfortunately, again, split HP spot thanks to those 4 different forms, but still decent HP, and that's a tower key. I've got to imagine with pass in hand, Blaze will probably full clear the moon, so we'll probably get go mode before going back down to that tower key. But you never know. He might just fade K value and decide to say, hey, I've got a Baron key with that D-Mist, I've got a tower key. Let's go back to the Earth.
That's one of those unfortunate things about knowing what we all know, what Vitasia knows, is K value is where the value is on the moon. So, and plus, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, that would put him at oh no, Blaze, no, wrong one. Don't do it. Ah! Blaze.
Yeah, having what he has and knowing what he knows, this is a value play. You've got 3 slots left on the moon. K value, Murasame, and Crystal Sword, which is that alt gauntlet. Whereas you now have Tower Key, Baron Key. Baron Key opens up Baron Basement, and you've got that D-Mist inside Baron. So you've got 4 checks down here. Not even counting the Kanazo at Leviathan. So value play is, come back down to the Earth, start running these checks. So I understand the decision. We just in the booth know that it's not going to be the correct one. Though it could still be the Twin Harp, and we could still have a race. But this is very much Vitasia's lead at the current moment.
Yeah, and those HP totals are significantly better. So it's already looking like more of a Zerk strat instead of the 1200 HP. I would love to see the 1200 HP work, but at the same time, kudos on Vitasia for not kind of putting blinders on and just trying over and over and over and over again and showing us the definition of insanity. He went out, ground up some eggs, had breakfast, came back, and now we're getting to see Zerkers go burr.
Yeah, we've seen it a couple of times in this tournament where runners have said, I can do this, and just unfortunately took wipe after wipe. So to be able to say, okay, look, I made this attempt, it did not work out, let's try something else immediately instead of rushing back in is a great thing, and good to see Vitasia understand and say, hey, look, let's go and get the levels, let's do this right. We're still in this, there's no dot done as of yet. Let's make sure I can get through this time.
Now, my question with Baron, and this is just assuming that Blaze does Baron Throne, do you stick around and do Odin Throne, or do you immediately look to see what Rydia's mom has once Demus has been put down?
I drop a save and immediately go check Demus. And if it's a terminal item, say like a magma key, a sand ruby, a spoon, then I reset back and I go do Odin Throne.
That also brings up a good point. Thank you for reminding me, because Blaze knows who is sleeping at Kaipo. And it's a mop. If someone gives the Sand Ruby, do you swap out a character for Fu?
I'd be tempted to swap out my Rydia for Fu, but otherwise, probably not.
Unfortunately for Vitasia, this fight has started to go sideways. I believe both his Cecil and his Yang are Zerk, so it's kind of a controller down and prey situation. Oh, Plague, I hate you, go away.
All right, Plague here should be easy peasy. This spot does not have that much HP. We've got some very, very powerful people. We're not going to see a full 10 count here. Unfortunately, a root counter nuke had taken out Vitasia's Rosa, and yeah, that was another wipe. But going right back in says, no, I've got the levels this time. That was just a very, very unlucky board AI taking out the wrong person. I've got this here. Let's try this one more time.
While Vitasia walks back, we do see Plague thankfully leaving the seed. Go away, I don't like you. And we get to find out what character's at Baron, and then hopefully there is something good in the Baron trash can. So we don't get a character in Baron, but hopefully there's something good in the Baron trash can. And I'm not saying next to like Rydia, I'm saying next there's no dupes in the seed. Thank you.
Yeah, dupe Rydia would be nice if we had dupes and we could, grind her up all the way. But I don't see us grinding her up all the way, so yeah, no.
Yeah, especially with slingshots off for this flag set, yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Though, thinking about it, which characters have we not seen? We haven't seen Palom? We haven't seen Kane. Who am I forgetting? Or have we seen everybody?
I think we've seen everybody. Because we have Cecil, we have not seen Kane. We've seen Porum, we've seen Rydia, we've seen Tella. Yeah, we've seen everybody. So yeah, Palom and Kane are the two taking a nap this seed.
I've just seen a Pan, which is that is definitely a key item. So that puts him at 9.
To see what this Demus check gives.
Of course, it's the 10th key item! Yay!
Oh, we do still have an edge you can throw it, so.
So yeah, that does open up a 10 key item grind for Blaze. And sure enough, Blaze is arguably doing the smart play and looking at the 2 very free key item checks with thwacking pan with the Yang. Logic. That makes sense in my brain. hitting Yang with a pan to see what we got there.
I remember, Blaze already knows Sheila 1's going to give a dud, which is that Silent Staff, I believe. So he's going to sit through that cutscene again, but at least this is going to 2 fresh checks with the bonk and the Sheila 2 check. Does Sheila have the goods today?
Those for Blaze's sake. I hope so. That's armor. Yay.
Okay, so headcanon here. Yang was wearing the glass hat, and then we broke it when we hit him with the pan. So the Sylph just gave it to us, saying, "You broke it, you bought it. Here, take it."
I was just gonna say, I think Blaze's heart got shattered when he saw that glass helm.
Yeah, immediately going to go check that Sheila 2. If it doesn't pay out, I would not be surprised to see him go back to that Odin spot in Baron Castle.
At this point, would you grind before you go back to Odin spot?
At the levels I'm at right now, probably not. He's got pretty good levels at the current moment, probably more than what you need to get through that Odin spot. I would grind if you decide you want to try to take on that Kanazo and Leviathan, though.
So we knew the Silent Staff, but we have defense swords at home, unfortunately. So Sheila was our weapons dealer for the day, and Blaze said, "Oh yeah, is checking out that tower key, see if we can find something of value there."
That's right. I forgot that we had the tower key in our inventory, so this is definitely a check that can be done. We'll have to see if it pays off with the Twin Harp or if it's just another chain.
And unlike the top tower ones, even though the tower key check is actually one of the easiest fights in the game, you still have to walk out of the tower before you even see what the key item is, if it's a key item at all. Meanwhile, it looks like Vitasia's fight against Z is going a lot better than it has been. Our characters, aside from our Anchor Rydia, are pretty well HP'd, and again, Zerkers are going wild. I don't blame Vitasia for keeping Yang. Nah, never mind. Anyway, our Zerkers are going wild, and Rosa's just going to be doing Rosa things. Also, there's Ruby. Hi.
Was it leg?
It was. But he's not going to get his conversation because that just takes too long in a seed.
It was leg, but now it's gone. Yeah, so at this point, we've got that Kanazo Leviathan. We've got the Baron Basement Throne. We've got Masamune and All Gauntlet Out Wyvern. Since we know what's in K value, those are the only spots we don't know what's there. Worst case scenario here is going to be a Luca key, because Luca key into say like Rat Tail into Sand Ruby would just be such a awful rabbit hole for Blaze at this point.
Yeah, any type of chain at this point you have to follow. Especially because the dot done is not in from either runners. You have to be trying to think, okay, maybe it's behind this chain, or I've committed to this check, so let's give it a go.
Yeah, at this point, as I said, any chain item is like, I've come this far, I have to follow it, I have to chase it. No dot done that I can see. I've got to believe, okay, hopefully there's another rabbit hole that my opponent went down and they're behind me on this chain quest. And I've got to chase and see what can I find. But that's unfortunately just a black shirt. That is a complete bonk there.
Oh, that is unfortunate, but it does look like that Blaze is going to be cracking some eggs, getting levels, getting Z ready before he tries to pin down that last key item.
And the question here becomes, does Blaze grind up all the way to nuke on Rydia, or are we just going to get our Rosa to a spot where she can survive under Big Bang without any issues?
I'm more partial to Zerkers personally. I would be fine. Well, Rosa's literally one egg away from being Big Bang proof. But it's again, it's one of those, you've come this far. Rydia's beginning levels. Why not get her nuke? Though I don't know what level she's at right now. What I do know is there are rocks falling on Vitasia's side, so Vitasia's 12,000 HP away from finishing the Z fight.
Yeah, this looks to be in the bag. You still got Cecil, you still got Yang. Rosa's still up as well. All three of them with plenty of HP to survive another round of rocks if it comes to it. This one should be in the bag for Vitasia here. Should be seeing the crack boom here any second.
And there it is.
There it is. GG's to Vitasia, who has finished in first place in this seed, an official time of 1 hour, 37 minutes, and 3 seconds. So GG's to Vitasia. We'll see if we can get him in here for an interview.
And Gambit, being the warlock that he is, said the name Vitasia, and Vitasia has shown up in the booth. So Vitasia, GG's.
I can see you lighting up, but we cannot hear you, Vitasia.
No, you'd be. Oh, wait, hold on. We have a little bit of technical difficulties here, so we will get Vitasia back as soon as we can. Meanwhile, Blaze is going to be doing some turtle soup, so we get to see what Kinazo has today.
So into this Kinazo fight we go. Gonna zerk up that edge. The gear we have at this point, you see, Kinazo only doing about 600 damage to that back row. Rydia should be okay to survive most hits. The wave is going to be the crucial thing, but I think we're rejoined by Vitasia. GG's, Vitasia.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
We can hear you now, yes.
GG's.
I had no... I should not have won that race. Holy cow. I felt good through most of the race, and then I'm like, yeah, this is setting up for 1200 strats. When was the last time I did that? Months ago?
Well, it was a valiant effort, and I have to admit, I was worried about the lack of Cure 3s, and then when I saw you start tossing that Sylph out to get some healing in and to proc those counter nukes, that was brilliant, and I was rooting for that to work for you, and I was so sad when it unfortunately didn't. You weren't able to pull it off.
Yeah, I had tested it only once before, and it really requires Rydia to have, like, all of her top line gear. Like, I think I was still equipped with a Mute Knife. You really got to make sure that her magic attack gets up there to be able for that, because it wasn't healing only 400 or so. It's doable, but yeah, it's kind of an interesting strat that I developed, and I don't know how actually viable it is.
Still, that was, I mean, when you watch the VOD back, you'll hear us go, that's nice. Even chat was commenting on it. That was Galaxy Brain level, so it was really cool to see. The battle speed too, that was bold. Like, I was jazzed to see the 1200 HP, to your attempt at it, even if it wasn't successful. Kudos to pulling that off as well as you did.
Yeah, just something to practice. And then my second fight, I had there was I think a counter nuke onto a Rosa right into a Big Bang. And that was a high roll. So I'm like, okay, round 3. Hopefully I don't get unlucky this time. But by that point, I swore. I felt like Moonblaze was just breathing down my neck the whole time, because everything was just laid out so quickly in front of me. I just kind of assumed, yeah, this is going to be a quick seed, and I knew that Moonblazewolf in particular is much more technically proficient than I am in this randomizer. So when it came down to those technically proficient 1200 strats, I thought for sure I would lost this race.
Here's what's interesting. It was you and Blaze going up to the moon was synced almost to the frame. You two going to the shop on the moon was synced brilliantly too. The divergence came when you went to K value and Blaze went to the LST. That's where the difference is, because Blaze hasn't gone to check K value yet.
Oh, and that feels so bad, because yeah, I was kind of like, okay, well, I like to check Value Cave just because it's Value Cave. There's a meme for a reason. So, and if I've learned anything in my long years playing randomizers, is if you think you're going to lose, at least you can meme.
Well, it paid off in dividends for you today with that Legend Sword pull, and again, once that saw it was your race to lose, and even with the little difficulties on the Z's fight, you were able to pull it out in a big way. How are you feeling going up 1-0 in this best of 3 series?
This is interesting because I honestly didn't expect to get this far. I've been practicing more recently, but I think I don't know. I did not expect to get this far. I'm very happy I'm this far. It adds some credibility, but I'm just really hanging out in the community is really what it's all about for me. This community has been so welcoming and so open to everyone, especially in the past year with everything how it's been. So I'm just happy that I can put on a good show when I'm not in front of a. That's usually what I end up doing, but hey, now I can at least do a decent race now.
Oh, it was definitely a great one to watch, and as someone who played you in the Swiss rounds, I am not surprised that you made it this far and have now got a 1-0 lead here on moonblazewolf. You are a very good runner in your own right, as good a runner as you are in the commentary booth, and that is definitely saying something.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
Yeah, definitely do not sell yourself short on that one. So many people learn oodles and oodles of things from both listening to commentate and watching you. I mean, is that just the 1200 HP strats that you're kind of tweaking and developing in your own light is super cool to see. What's also super cool to see as I'm looking at your screen right now is you are giving us some fun.
Yeah, I'll be quiet for this.
Nice. We're being serenaded by a DJ Spoony Bedward. Any final thoughts on the seed, how it went, how you feel, and how you're feeling going into match 2?
I feel pretty good. I don't think I'm going to be changing too much. I'm just going to kind of play my game, and I expect moonblazewolf is just a fantastic runner. He's been around for so long in the community as well. I think a lot of the early stuff I learned from him, actually watching him. So this has just been it feels so great to be able to race Moonblaze in a tournament like this. I think it's been since Zima Zone 1 that we ran against each other for something. I fully expect him to put up a really good race for race 2. We haven't scheduled race 3 yet, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if it comes to race 3.
So you had a heck of a showing today, Vitasia. GG's.
Yes, GG's once again.
Thank you. And thank you to all the comms and everyone behind the scenes as well.
All right, so that was Vitasia, and I have some good news for you, Gavin. I don't know if you were watching the key item, the spoiler log on Vitasia's side.
Oh, I was, and moonblazewolf has gotten a rat tail from this Baron basement check, and that's going to turn into a twin harp, which means we're going to get a second helping of music.
As it turns out, the Odin throne with the Magus sisters had the goods today, just behind another chain. And of course, Blaze did check the Luca key as well, and that was just an X-Cal.
Yeah, thankfully with no demons to check for and already taking care of our boss objective, no need to even check. That boss just reset right back out immediately.
And unfortunately, if Blaze did want that sleeping Fusoya, he would have had to go through the alt gauntlet to get him. Blah.
That would have at least been a grind.
Yeah.
I'll say Blaze is going to go back down, probably pick up a couple more sirens just to finish off a grind after doing the twin heart. Or maybe before. We'll see. Pass in hand, I'd probably go ahead and do it before.
Yeah, kind of. And that's exactly what he just did. We will be he'll be fighting the true final boss of the seed with that inventory boss. So we get looks like he's done shopping in there. And getting ready to nope out.
Alright, so we've seen Golbez. We have not seen Wyvern. We have not seen Valvalis. We've seen All Gauntlet, so we know it's not All Gauntlet at music, sadly.
I'm gonna be nice for once. Don't quote me on this. I'm gonna say this is Bahamut. Ooh, Dathis has brought up a good point. Also being nice. We haven't seen Water Hag.
I wanted to be anybody but Dr. Luge, because I think Luge is the only one who can change our music left.
I think you're correct on that one. And it does look like we are going to be getting Rydia with the nuke cast, which at this point, sure. What level does Rydia get Duke? I'm not used to her having levels.
I believe it's level 50, but for her to get to level 50 is the same amount of XP as it takes Paladin to level 52. Because mass.
Yeah, that doesn't sound fun. Invitation's words, way too high.
Yeah, exactly.
Insert rents too high meme right here. I wonder how narrow of a strike range that actually is.
On the bright side, Rydia has now learned Fatal, so we don't need coffins anymore.
Nice. And it did look like Rydia was level 49, so this egg should do the trick. Should.
Yeah, because I believe Rydia learns Nuke at 50, learns Medio at 52. And I don't think we're going to grind all the way to Medio.
Oh, and there's Nuke. So we do have a microwave. Oh yeah, it definitely does look like Blaze has gotten what he's came for, and now we are going to be getting a second words. A second helping of music from Final Fantasy VII.
In the meantime, while Blaze is heading up to the Cave of Magnus, one last shout out to our behind the scenes crew. Yeah, see, now I'm having problems with words.
You're welcome.
Dathis on the restream. Alchemy doing the tracking for us today, making sure we don't miss anything. My fellow co-commentator Oscar424. Don't forget to give all of them a follow, as well as our wonderful runners Vitasia and moonblazewolf, putting on a great show for you tonight. Definitely give them a follow, show them your love.
And give Gambit 017 love too, because Gambit is good people. Gambit is such a good person. He is good people, plural. Too much good for one person to handle. Today is also Kindness Bully Day.
If Leggy were here, I'd say we have to redeem some channel points.
No, we're not on Free Enterprise. We're on Randomania, remember? Gambit's like, oh, heck.
Every time Blaze walking down is about to trigger the fight. Yes, Dathis, that counts. Thank you.
Dathis is okay, I guess. No, honestly, Dathis is a pretty heckin' amazing person. Does great restreams, is one of our most consistently solid restreamers. Great memer, which I relate to on a metaphysically comedic level. But speaking of memeing, and the fact that he got biased to using his punch mage, definitely with Dathis' jokes, Vitasia bringing Yang helps us get to the punchline faster. Really kicks things in gear. Perfect time to shut up for music.
Yeah, I was going to say, Edward is coming out of bed. He is moving his way to the harp, and we are going to get a reprise of some Hurry from Final Fantasy VII.
Hi.
So does this mean that I kind of jinxed him when I said I didn't
Yes!
do this here?
We still platonically love you, though.
So then again, Blaze's party, we might actually be able to get through this second phase of Dr. Blue Game before we unfortunately lose our music.
Shout out to Berserk Badger in chat, who has modified the harp emote to flatten it. And also to Blackjack Trial. I know you can't bear all these Yang puns, but I'm going to be catty and claw my way through them anyway.
So I'll be doing commentary solo the rest of the way. Anyway, that is going to be Luge down, K Magnus complete for moonblazewolf. He is going to pick up his crystal, and being the fact that we have a pass, we're just going to kind of ride the Black Chocobo back and then probably go straight into the Zeromus fight.
I mean, Gambit, if necessary, we can just muzzle her. They don't need to hear anybody but the two of us, right?
Oh, it's okay. I can charm both of you. Am I still in the race group? Am I still in the booth?
We all disappeared. It's okay.
Okay.
But yeah, Blaze immediately going back down to Troya is going to use the pass, going to go into his Zeromus fight. With all the levels he has, this should be a pretty academic fight. Probably just going to Zerk everybody up, toss a Starbell, toss some nukes, toss some whites, and Zeromus is going to have a very, very bad day.
Oh yeah, with the HP totals on the entire party already included. Yeah, that Unomus has placed the skip card, and Blaze just countered him with his own skip card. I mean, though, speaking of skips, no pun intended, are we gonna, with this power overwhelming team, are we gonna skip seeing a second Big Bang?
We might see the first Big Bang and then a meteor towards the end. We might not even see that second one.
But once more, chat, we are getting to see our Z, so if you want to get some Z flags out there and play Guess Who's Butt we're going to be kicking this time, go right ahead. For all we know, it could be the reverse card. Oh, that'd be funny.
No, I just noticed that Rivers is now in chat, so it's going to be playable Golbez.
What about payable Golbez?
No, that's a wacky flag.
So the funny part is since the magic curse has been said, I'm banned from commentating because of puns. Gambit just got himself nuked out of orbit because Rivers is here. So Dathis, yeah, you're up, buddy. Before Dathis gets newspaper for doing more than one roll.
No, if I'm not supposed to be here because of puns, I get booted out too. You know how this works.
Yeah. So Alchemy, one person show. You can handle that, right?
In the meantime, we've got Blaze has tossed the Starbell up on Rydia. Rydia is bouncing some nukes off herself. Quad 9 damage. Yep. Cecil still with a defense sword. Did not take the X-Cal from Luca K reset, so we're still just rocking the defense, which not bad. But yeah, this party is going to chew through Unomus.
So Alchemy does have the Rivers McCown seal of approval. So yep, Gambit's been nice doing comms with you. Yeah, we're out. Bye.
In the meantime, again, we had the first Big Bang. It was nerfed. Everybody survived. Everybody still got 4-digit HP. I agree with you, Oscar. We don't see a second Big Bang here. We're just going to chew through this. Even a cursed Sid doing 705 damage with that poison axe.
Sid's trying. Sid hasn't been alive for a while, so I'm not gonna lie, it's weird seeing Cecil only doing 2k damage. I know we saw the Excal was in the sealed cave, which Blaze rightfully so noped out of, but it's just Rydia's doing the heavy lifting. I don't know what to think right now.
Oh, Rydia is good when you get her levels and get her to nuke. She is actually a very productive member of the team.
There's just one problem.
She takes levels, yes. She takes a lot of levels. But she's good when she gets there.
Fair.
I mean, I think both myself and my opponent from last week night can attest to that, because we both took a high-level Rydia into fights in our first race, I believe.
Fair point. Even Rose is getting in on the action, casting a white spell.
Not quite as much damage as Rydia's do, but hey, she's helping.
I'm gonna love saying this. Cecil tried. Cecil's trying. As Vitasia's saying in chat, pump 1 million XP into a lot of characters in their endgame viable. You are correct. We did see a shake, so are we gonna see the Big Bang or no?
I think no. I don't think we see a Big Bang. I think we see a rock, and then we're done.
Are we even gonna see rocks at this point? I guess we are.
And everybody but Sid and Rosa dodge.
So yeah, this Unimus really is not long for this world.
Matter of fact, that is the crack boom. Blaze has flash effects off, so we don't see it, but we do see the white stuck on screen. We see the card dissolving, as all Uno cards should after a very long game of Uno. And Blaze has finished his seed in second place, 1 hour, 59 minutes, 25 seconds. GG's. And we'll see if we can have moonblazewolf come in for an interview.
And sure enough, Blaze has come in here. Awu and GG's, Blaze.
I hate it when I get my Schwartz twisted.
So we were actually wondering about, we had the dolls in Antlion, I believe. So did you go start the seed and start playing with your dolls?
No, sir, you didn't see me playing with my dolls again.
But GG's, how do you feel about that seed?
I mean, that's just rando. I don't know. That seed broke really weird right from the beginning because you saw the demist and you knew the Baron Key was like super, super important to find. So that was kind of like the first hurdle, I would say, for me in my head when I was routing and trying to get through. Is just like, okay, gotta just keep doing high efficiency till I find that Baron Key. And, then you get to that point where it's like, you've got go mode with one item 2 ways and you're just hoping you guess right. And obviously I guessed wrong with Vitasia played really well and guessed right. So there you go.
Yeah, I mentioned this to Vitasia. You two were pretty much in lock flight heading to the moon and even heading to the shop. And the biggest difference was LST versus Cave Value, as Cave Value had the Legend Sword.
Yeah, I saw that in the credits, and I mean, I'm not surprised. That's just that's you get up to the moon. I was hoping maybe I had a little bit of a head start because I felt like I played everything pretty efficiently, and I had a few things that I felt like made the overworld pretty efficient and easy for me. But there's a couple things you wonder if somebody went right up to the top of tower and took out Odin and got that darkness crystal right away. After I found the Baron Key and I wanted to at least sweep the rest of the lower LST, I was like, okay, well, if Vitasia just like left with the Baron Key and that's where everything is, then that's not a good feeling. And and then I had found the pan by the time, he finished. So it was just, you're looking for the pan, you're looking for the Baron Key, you're like, where are all these key items? And it just turns out you just had to go to Cave Bahamut the whole time.
So, question for you. with as little money as you got at the start, because that was a tiny bit of money, almost the lowest you can get in these flags.
Yeah.
Having that edge, did you have any thoughts your first trip into Lower Babel, maybe trying to steal some sirens?
No, because I'd bought some before. I think I had 6, and I knew I was going to be fine. I knew that. So I knew that if I had to do the Kanazo to get the Darkness Crystal, then I was probably going to have to steal sirens or at least go back and buy some more. But that was going to be just so slow and inefficient at that point because you weren't going to get 10 key items. You weren't gonna get to the levels that you needed to really get through that Kanazo without like a pretty big investment of XP. That that was kind of in the back of my mind, but no, not really. Stealing sirens just didn't seem that appealing to me. You get money choked pretty easily at the beginning of these seeds, but once you kind of get underground, clear Dwarf Castle, anything on the moon, you generally have enough money to carry you through. So I wasn't super worried about the money as soon as I knew I had a team that could get through the hook route. But yeah, it was a little tight at first.
Yeah, speaking of that moon, Golbez in the Ribbon Room, and then All Gauntlet up there at Crystal Sword.
I knew that moon was going to be rude because I was just kind of thinking in my head, like, okay, we've seen like basically no Lunar Sparkles, no Golbez, no Alt Gauntlet, no Valvalis, and I was just kind of like, yeah, this is rough. But hey, Kanazo at Leviathan, that's probably not. That's an absolutely brutal spot too. So you're just kind of, that everybody's probably got to do something awful there, and again, very fortunate for Vitasia that Octomom at the K Bahamut's not too bad, and then that's all that really needed to be done. So.
Well, unfortunately, dude, that does put you down one game. Moving on to game 2, what's your plans to prep? Is it going to stay roughly the same? Are you going to change things up? So on and so forth.
It's hard to say. I'll probably just play the seed the way it's presented to me. I think I probably played a little bit too conservatively in this seed, but I didn't have any trouble with anything. I was just a little bit slow, and so I don't know. I don't really see myself changing up too much, but probably won't skip Cave Bahamut anymore.
It is value cave for a reason, right?
Yep.
Well, GG's again on your finish. I know you wish it had gone the other way, but looking forward to game 2, and hopefully you can win that one back and get a best of 3.
Yeah, absolutely. And this, I didn't feel too stressed about tonight because win or lose, it's not an elimination game. So now I got to win 2 in a row, but that's fine, and we'll just see how it goes. Thanks everybody for watching. Thank you to the whole Restream team and all the Restream teams putting this on, because I know it's a really busy night, so I won't keep anybody longer. Thank you, everybody.
GG's, Blaze. It's always an absolute treat to see you run, and it's always an enjoyable treat just in general when you're around.
Oh, thank you.
GG's again. Have a great rest of your night, Blaze.
But on that note, we survived not getting banned. Yay!
Have we checked? Are we sure we're still on the air? I mean, they might have pulled the plug on us a while ago.
Oh, heck.
But again, this is day 1 of round of 32, and there's more free enterprise to be had, Asuka.
There's literally more free enterprise going on right now, particularly over at the Free Enterprise channel, where the match between the 11th seed Possum Morpheus and the 22nd seed Zilch 6 has just started. Heck. So I think we're going to be heading over there. What do you think?
This is going to be a high matchup. It's one I've been looking forward to since I saw the brackets revealed. So looking forward to going over, seeing how they do. Remember, no spoilers from this race. We want people who are in that channel to be able to come back and watch the VOD if they want to. If you spoil, you will get in the bonk. You have been warned. Otherwise, thank you guys for hanging out. Once again, for our Restream team, Dath is doing the Restream. I'll be doing the tracking. My fellow commentator, Oscar424. I have been Gambit017, and y'all have a great rest of your night.